Hello and welcome back. I am finally filming a video for you guys. I have taken a little bit of a hiatus unintentionally there for like 3 weeks. Three weeks? I wish it was 2 weeks. 3 months. So I wanted to share with you the makeup that I have been wearing. This is the makeup that's like my full on look kind of makeup. If I'm going out for a day and I want to look put together, like a day out with friends or family, or going out for drinks, or going out for a meal, this is the makeup that I will wear. So yeah, it's what I've been reaching for every single time I do a full-on look. So I really hope that you enjoy it. I do get a little bit chatty and explain to you where I've been, what I've been up to whilst I haven't been filming. I'm gonna stop talking. Without further ado, let's get into the makeup look. It feels weird to sit in front of a camera, oh my God. I think the last video I put up was May 31st, I actually checked. And it is now September 18th. So it's been a while. We're just gonna do a get ready with me, chatty, talking you through the products that I have been using pretty much exclusively when I've been doing my makeup over this whole summer. And we're gonna just have a chat and get ready together. So get a drink. It's probably gonna be a long rambly one. So I have applied my sunscreen already. I've been loving the Supergoop Play sunscreen. This is my second tube of this. I really love this if you want a very glowy moisturizer. You can actually use this all over your body, but I just use it for my face. It's SPF 50 and it's water resistant. So yeah, I just find this is great. It's also a lot cheaper than my other favorite SPF, which is the Dermalogica Spf Booster. This is the closest thing I've found to that, and it's about a third of the price. However, I do know there's a little bit of controversy over Supergoop's cruelty-free status at the moment. So I don't know if I would repurchase it just for those reasons, but I do really love the formula. So I really hope they are still cruelty-free, because that would suck just after I've found an affordable SPF that I love. There's just no other SPF that's come close to the Dermalogica one for me before. So I'm now going to, whoops, that just went all over the brush. So I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Stay Naked. This is in the shade 30. This is kind of like more my summer shade. I also have the shade 20, which I was using before. I really love this foundation tinted moisturizer. I'd say it's kind of somewhere between the two, because it does have a decent amount of coverage, but it doesn't make you look like you're wearing foundation, at least for me. I have seen some mixed reviews of this, like other people saying that it isn't that good on their skin, or like it looks cakey on their skin. But I have found that for my skin at least, it works really well. It definitely is very dewy, and sometimes it can make me look a bit greasy. Now I don't mind that, because I would prefer to be glowy than dry, or matte looking. So I really don't mind that, but obviously depending on what you prefer, you might not like that as much. So just bear in mind that it can err on the greasy side of dewy. I also only use a little bit, so I squeeze like a couple of drops onto this brush, and that will do me. I don't like to overdo it, because I think that's when it can just start to look like you're wearing more foundation. I find now, as I get older, wearing less base is better for my skin overall. It just makes my skin look more skin-like. Whereas when I was younger, I could definitely get away with like few pumps of foundation, slathering it all on the face, and it really wouldn't notice that I was wearing a load of foundation. But now, if I was to do that, it would be a different story. So I will leave all the products listed below if I forget to mention any, because I can get chatty and then forget. So yeah, check in the description bar if you are curious about anything I'm wearing. But yeah, so I have had a 3-month break. It really wasn't intentional. I know everyone says that when they take a break from YouTube, but I genuinely didn't mean to be off YouTube that long. There's really not any like big story as to why I wasn't making videos or anything. It was just that life got really busy, especially during the summer. I think because we haven't been able to do things for so long, when we could, suddenly our diary was like full all the time, which is great, and I'm not complaining because it was wonderful to be able to like spend time with friends and family again and do things and go away and all of that type of stuff. I missed so much, so I'm so glad that we were able to do that again. I'm using the Uoma Stay Woke concealer. This is, I think, my favorite concealer of all time now. This is my second bottle of it, and I don't remember the last time I repurchased a concealer before this one. So I love this concealer. It's like full coverage, but it just doesn't notice the way, like, even if you put a lot under your eyes, it really doesn't notice that you're wearing loads of concealer. It's like hydrating enough that it kind of just blends in with your skin. I do prefer wearing it with foundation though, rather than just on bare skin, because I find it sits a bit better. So yeah, basically life just got really busy. I think just after I filmed my last video, that was then obviously going into June, because it was at the like very end of May, and June is like my birthday month, and I was at home for a little bit, for like, I don't know, even like less than a week even, but I did go home and spend time with family for a few days before my birthday, and then was doing stuff over my birthday, obviously, with Adam. And then, I don't know, we just seemed to have loads of plans in June and July, which we did have some weekends off, but when we had the weekends off, it was like, we're trying to like get the house in order, we're trying to like get our lives back on track, you know, because during the week we're working all week. So weekends is really the time. Obviously we can like do stuff during the week, we work from home, but it's just easier, isn't it, to sort everything out at the weekend when you are not having to worry about everything else. So yeah, that was kind of like what was taking up time, just like seeing friends, seeing family, having plans, and like continuing life again. And then I did intend to, as I say, film some videos during that time, but it just worked out that it didn't happen, basically. And then in August, I actually went away to a festival with a couple of friends, which was really, really fun and so good to like be able to see live music again. And it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like very surreal and like a real moment. So that was great, and so I was away for a week for that, and then from the festival I got COVID, which was not so great and really put a dampener on the whole amazing being back at a festival thing. That basically wrote off most of August, you know, with the festival, and then getting COVID as soon as I got back. That was like 2 weeks out, and COVID did take it out of me. For a full, I'd say a full 10 days, I was like pretty much couldn't do anything lying on the sofa. I mean, you have to, in the UK, you have to self-isolate for 10 days as soon as you test positive, so that was fine. I didn't have anywhere to go, but trust me, I wasn't going anywhere even if I did. Like, it was not fun. And at that point I had had one vaccine, and I was actually due to get my second vaccine the day I tested positive for COVID. And if you test positive, you're not supposed to get a vaccine for at least 28 days after. So that was, yeah, it was just not great timing, to be honest. I, touch wood, I'm very fortunate that I haven't had any like long COVID symptoms. I did lose my taste and smell, and I don't think it is 100% back to normal yet, but that's the only symptom I still have. Whilst that was all going on, I also managed to get 2 infections on my wisdom teeth, one before I had COVID, one after I had COVID, so that was also like making me feel really unwell, and I wouldn't have wanted to film then because I was just not in a, it was just like my mouth was swollen, I couldn't eat properly, you know, with that. So yeah, just like a lot of things have been happening, and I've had a lot of like balls in the air that I've been juggling, which have basically just meant that filming went out the window, and also obviously working throughout all of that, because YouTube is my hobby. I do have a full-time job where I work for an NGO in their social media team, so I'm doing that Monday to Friday. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot sometimes, and sometimes that's why YouTube does tend to take a back seat. And I also feel like I was really having some creative burnout with YouTube. I really didn't feel inspired. I didn't want to buy any new makeup. I honestly haven't. I've just put in a beauty bay order for like some autumnal type of products, but before that, I don't remember. I think the last time I bought makeup was maybe the springtime. Oh no, maybe I did buy the, I bought the Kosas Lip Oil at some point during the summer, but I think that was like the only makeup product I bought, and that's a good thing because I don't need a lot of new makeup, and I think sometimes I can get really swept up in new releases and feeling like, oh, I want to try that, I want to try that, I want to try that. So that's a good thing that I wasn't buying a load of makeup, but I feel like because I wasn't inspired, every time I would look on Trend Mood and see what was coming out and like watch makeup videos, I just didn't get excited about any of it. And that I think also made me like not be excited to film and not carve out the time and make the time to film, because I really didn't know what I wanted to film. I remember just thinking like, I could film a video, but what am I gonna film? I have nothing to talk about right now. So yeah, I am back now. I'm recovered from COVID. I am hoping that I will be able to film more consistently. I have said before on YouTube, it's never gonna be like a once a week, twice a week kind of thing for me at the moment. I just have too much other stuff going on, but I really, really, really appreciate you guys sticking with me and watching my videos time after time. I read the comments, I see the same people commenting over and over again, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you still come back and watch my videos even though I am not a consistent uploader. It means a lot that you stick by me and appreciate my content, so thank you. This is why I'm coming back because if I didn't have you guys like watching my videos on the other end, I honestly, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't get anything out of it, if that makes sense. So thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I always appreciate any comments that people leave, because I know I'm really bad for leaving comments on other people's content, so I know that it does take like an extra step to go out of your way and leave a comment, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm just excited. I've got a few ideas for videos, but please do let me know if there's anything specific that you would like to see. I will, as I say, I made a beauty bay order, so I will be testing some of those products out and do a video about that. And I also want to film another empties video because you guys seem to really enjoy that the last time I filmed it, which was like, I meant to film one sooner than a year down the line, but I think it's going to be another year of empties. And before I was like, I've been meaning to film this video for a year and I just haven't. So it's going to probably be another really long video, but hey ho. I'm going to stop rambling and tell you about this blush because I have been obsessed with this. I've been wearing this almost every time I do my makeup. This, like as I say, all summer, but I think this would be a really good shade for fall as well, autumn. I go between watching too much American YouTube and talking about fall and then being English and saying autumn. So yeah, this is the shade Dreamer by Ilia. It's their multi-stick, I believe. But it's just this like really, you can almost use it as a bronzer. Like sometimes if I don't have time, I'm rushing, I will just swipe this on and kind of like go where I would normally put my bronzer or my cream contour. And I bring it up onto my forehead as well. I haven't really been wearing highlight because I find like with the combination of all of these products, I have enough glow as it is. But I just love that kind of really sunburn vibe at the moment. I know it's really on trend and I'm no different to everyone else, but I do think if you are a redhead and you're looking for that kind of blush, which is almost like a really deep bronzy, like burnt orange shade, this is a great one because it actually looks very natural. It doesn't look too orange, it doesn't look too burnt. It's kind of like a nude, but with all of those undertones thrown in. So it just looks very like natural. Your skin was always like this sort of thing. I've actually just ordered another one of these Zoeva brushes because I've had this for years and it's pretty much the only brush I now use on my face. I use it for my foundation, I use it to blend out my concealer, I use it to blend out my contour, my blush, my cream blush. You know, for any cream products, I just find that this is the best brush. It's the Zoeva Grand Stippling Brush 124. I love it. It's a duo fiber brush. It's like a really round dome, you know, perfect for buffing into the skin. And I just find that it works really well. I do tend to go over that with my fingers and just finish blending it out because, as I say, I use that brush for everything, so it gets pretty dirty. And I've washed it recently, but it's still... So that's why I've ordered another one of them, because I thought, I get so much use out of it, I might as well have two. And it's not shed at all. I think I must have had this like 4 or 5 years now, and yeah, it's still going strong. It washes up really well as well. So really, really good brush. So I have been setting this down. So as I say, this is kind of the makeup, like I said, that I would wear if I was gonna do like a full day of wearing makeup or like going out in the evening. And if I was just throwing on some makeup to like run errands or whatever, I wouldn't set my face. I just never bother because I think it can sometimes mess up my skin a little bit. If I was to wear powder every day, I feel like it would be too much for my skin. I do have quite sensitive skin and I don't want to be like overloading it with product every day. But I do think because this combination of base, especially with this Supergoop sunscreen, this is very glowy. So with the tinted hydrator from Decay, it really does need to be set if you're going to wear it for a long time. So I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. This is in the shade 1. Again, I know it's a really hyped up product and it's really expensive, but it is worth it. If you want your face to be set, but still have some glow and some dimension to it, and also last all day, it is really good. And I do prefer this to loose powders. I used to love the Hourglass loose setting powder, but I just find them so messy that now I'm really not into loose powders. So yeah, I would recommend this. Also, there was some question marks over Charlotte Tilbury's cruelty-free status too, but they have just been Leaping Bunny certified and they are like back on all of the cruelty-free lists. So I really was pleased to see that. It shows that they were listening to their customers and were listening to what was being said about them online, because I think a lot of times brands don't, or they hear it and they just don't act on it. And I was really impressed that they actually responded to that by going out and getting the Leaping Bunny certification. So yeah, I just find it mattifies where it needs to be mattified, but I still have a nice healthy glow to my skin. I don't set my cheeks where I put that cream blush. I tend to set everywhere else though. And yeah, my makeup does definitely last longer when I wear it. So for eyes, I mean, on a daily basis, I don't wear eyeshadow, but I've kind of been loving this combo, which is the Kosas 10-second eyeshadow in Globe, which I know I've spoken about on my channel before, but it is really, really gorgeous. I am not really into powder eyeshadow anymore. I hope that I will get back into it one day because I do really love like playing with eyeshadow and stuff, but I just can't be bothered to do it anymore. I Don't get excited by eyeshadow palettes. I don't remember the last time I saw an eyeshadow palette and I was like, oh, I need to try that. But with cream eyeshadow, it's like the opposite. I love it. So I love wearing this and then patting the Hourglass Scattered Light glitter eyeshadow in Ray over the top. These two colors just complement each other really well. They're both very bronzy shades, but this one has a little bit more of a glitter reflect in it, so it just gives it a bit more punch. So really nice for a night out. I'm not sure where that cut out, but I have applied the Kosas liquid eyeshadow in the shade Globe with my finger just all over my lid. But yeah, I was just going to mention talking about Kosas because I said that the Uoma concealer is like my favorite of all time, and before, as part of like the last few videos that I filmed, I know I spoke about the Kosas concealer a lot, and I really loved that formula. It was such a great everyday concealer. It was so hydrating but looked like skin. I really loved it. The lid just one day fully snapped off, and I wasn't messing around with it. I was literally just unscrewing it open and like half the lid came off in my hand. So I actually still have it here. I was gonna put it in my empties bag because I pretty much did use it up. I only had it for a couple of months. So let's get that right. I didn't use it up, but it was starting to smell weird. And obviously Kosas products are more clean. So my understanding is that with clean beauty products, you have less chemicals and preservatives in them, so they can go off quicker. And I definitely did start noticing that this was smelling a bit funny. And then literally, I don't know if you can see that, but half the lid just snapped off one day. So it won't actually, so like, I was like, well, this is basically done because now all the oxygen is getting in there, and like you can't travel with something like that. I can't really put it in my makeup drawers because if I lie it flat, I'm worried all the product is eventually going to come out. So for the price, I was actually really disappointed that that happened like a couple of months after I bought it. I did reach out to Kosas and say, hey, I think, you know, maybe there was an issue with the packaging or whatever, it just snapped off. They said because I bought it from Naturissimo to contact them, and I have to admit I just didn't do that because I couldn't be bothered in the end. And like I have used most of the concealer anyway, so it's not like it was a new product. I had it for a few months and been using it consistently, so it may just have been my fault, I don't know, but it's never happened with any other concealer that I've ever owned. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. And then my Kosas Cream Colour and Light Duo has also, and this has happened with some like compacts I've had before, but basically there's a little tiny bit of plastic here that has come off as well, and it just means that now you have to be really careful when you're opening it because basically the whole lid could just come off. So it's kind of like not hinged, it's not attached at this bit anymore. Again, for the price, I totally get, I was traveling with it, so maybe I just dropped my suitcase in the wrong way or something, but nothing else, including like Milani compacts, nothing else snapped or broke or anything, just this Kosas one. This is pretty heavy duty packaging, it's quite weighty. I wouldn't have thought that it would snap, but for two things, both plastic related, you know, they've like come apart or snapped off. For the price you pay for Kosas, compared to something like this, where I've never had any issues with a Milani compact doing that, I honestly don't know if I would recommend Kosas after that experience with them. I absolutely love the formulas of the makeup, but yeah, that was really disappointing that, you know, a few months after buying a product, it's basically unusable because the packaging's broken. I just thought I would share that because in case any of you wondered like what my final thoughts were, when I was saying that the Uoma Beauty is my favorite concealer of all time. I love this formula, but I wouldn't repurchase it in case that happens again. Also the shade range in this, not great. I've heard that everyone says all of the shades pull quite yellow, and I definitely found that with that one. It was not the right shade for me. So I would be worried that if I repurchased it, I would have the same issue with another shade just not being a perfect match. And there's not really anywhere now that I can swatch Kosas. As far as I'm aware, they're not sold like in stores in the UK. So I would be interested if you guys have tried any of the Kosas products, whether that you found the same, if you had any issues with the packaging or what. Maybe I was just unlucky, I don't know. So I did just use the Pixi Endless Shadow Stick. This one is in the shade Matte Cocoa. I really love this as just an eyeliner that I smudge on my top lash line. And then I will go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel. This is in the shade Taupe. The mascara that I have been using is the Glossier Lash Slick. This is my second tube of this. I really love it, but it doesn't last that long before it starts making my eyes get itchy. This one is just starting to, so I'd say it's like a 8 to 12 week max. I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to use mascaras longer than that, but it's more closer to the 8 weeks, whereas some mascaras I can get like 4 months out of sometimes, but this is definitely a 2 to 3 month thing. But I just love the length that it gives my lashes. It doesn't smudge. It's not super expensive, although it is a little bit hard to get hold of because you have to order it online. And you know, you have to order it from Glossier's website themselves. You can't just order it from like Cult Beauty or something. And that is it. So for lips, as I say, I have mainly been wearing the Kosas lip oil, but it's downstairs. But I think I will go get it because that is genuinely what I've been mostly wearing, just throwing on a bit of lip oil and going out the door. So let me grab it. So yeah, if I have been wanting to wear a lip liner with it, like if it's an evening look or whatever, a bit more glam, I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, still my favorite lip liner. This is the Kosas lip oil. I feel like I've been talking about Kosas so much in this video. It was not intended, but yeah, I bought this before the whole packaging saga. This is in the shade Dip, and I really like it just for a very like natural gloss. It's not gonna give you super wet looking lips, but it just is a little touch of something, a little dimension to the lips, juicy looking, that kind of thing. It does have some shimmer running through it as well, so it really catches the light nicely. So yeah, this is the finished makeup look, the look that I have been wearing pretty much whenever I've been wearing makeup the last 3 months. This is what I've been going for, tried and tested, really lasts really well. Skin looks like I'm not wearing makeup, which is great. And yeah, I just really love it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as I say, thank you for sticking with me through the ups and downs of this YouTube channel journey. But yes, I am hoping to have some more videos very soon for you, and yeah, as I say, I really appreciate you sticking around. Thank you again for watching. I hope that you are well and looking after yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.